wait. Okay? Go
Hi,
ahead.
I'm David LaRousse. This is a short training video on how to pull orders for global business product in this particular warehouse. The whole idea of the picking the orders is the fact that we get the orders ready for our 4 trucks to deliver the next morning. We do this in the afternoon or the evening. Normally you would get something like this. That's the overall view. This is called a pick order. I know you can't see this, but this is called a pick order. On here it tells us what the customer wants, what we have or don't have in the warehouse, so we can pull this particular order and get it ready. That's the overall view. Now let's go through some of the things. First of all, on the pick order. On the pick order sheet, you can't see this, you're going to have your own pick order to do. This is it blown up a little bit. On the left-hand side, the left row, is the location, where we go in the warehouse to find a particular customer's item that he's looking for. Second column is the actual item. It's written 99% of the time, it's written on the box, on the package. The row in the middle is the description of the item itself. This is useful sometimes, but most of the time you rely on the item number and the location. The next column here has to do with the amount they want, whether it's a roll, RL, a pack, PK. Particular of importance is pens. Pens will come usually as a dozen, DZ, 2 dozen, 3 dozen, 4 dozen. Every now and then they'll show an EA, and the EA stands for each. So if it says 6 EA, it's 6 pens, not 6 dozen. Very important. The next 3 columns are the quantity of the customer's ordered, how much he wants. Second column is BO, which stands for back order. These are the ones we actually don't have in the warehouse. And the third column is the ship quantity. That's what we're pulling. Now, with all of this being said, there are certain items that even show shipped that we don't pull. They come from other warehouse locations that we have here. The drivers will get that in the morning. Let's start with the locations to show you where you go from the pick order. We have 4 sets of racks. First set closest to the doors is A, second rack is B, then C, D, E, F, and G, H. So A through H on the racks. Also on the racks, this is B rack, AB. If the location is B20, then it would be B rack, second partition. Each of these racks have 6 partitions. The 10s, the 20s, the 30s, the 40s, the 50s, and the 60s. So again, B20 would be in the second section on the B rack. That's the racks. Oh, also too in the racks, you have front and rear. This is the C rack and the D rack. If it says C end, it means the front end of the C rack. If it says end C, it's the back end of the C rack. So C end is front, end C is back. All right, let's show you what else we have, the other locations we have. The pan over here. These big set of racks here against the wall, we have 6 sections. W1, W2, W3's on top, W4's on the bottom, W5's on top, W6 is on the bottom. The only place we actually pull orders from is 2, 4, and 6. The top rack is used for storage. That's the W racks. Follow me. This is the table we pack from. So these items right here, which is just a few items, is considered table as far as the location. If you see any location that says table, they mean this little area right here. Now the area behind it, these racks here, these shelving, these are all for the small cartridges, and this is called the WF1 location. WF1 location. All right, in here is all the small toners, mostly. We have a few other things, but mostly toners. The toners on that description sheet we're looking at on the pick order sheet, the description, these toners are 2 different ways that they're identified. One is there is a very large number on each package, a 52 or a 60. And then there's a very, very tiny item number which you cannot see, which shows the actual item number that's on your sheets. it's easier. This shelves are sorted not by item numbers, but by that large number that you see in there, that 50, 60, 40. It makes it easier. And they run like this. The 02s, the 2s are over here, then the 10s, etc. across. And the numbers just keep going higher. If you get confused, what the idea is, if it says a 60 or a 52, you find all the 52s and then you look at the item number, the little bitty number, to identify which one you need. If you get confused, I have two sheets up here that give you the item number and it gives you the large location number. That's the WF1 racks. There's a little bitty rack on this side. The only thing you have to know about this little rack, it's also called WF1, but the only thing you have to know about this rack is coffee sugar and coffee creamer is usually located here. Anything that says creamer or sugar is located in these two spots. Swing around. This area here, as you're coming out the office door, this is the return area, where the drivers bring everything that's returned back from the customer, and then we send it back to the supplier. The area behind it is where we store extra product. It doesn't really have a location, but that's where we have the extra paper towels, the big boxes, the extra toilet tissue, etc., etc. This little area right here is called PLT, or pallet. That's all it is a location. It's just a few special items that we keep here. Anything having to do with plastic spoons or plastic forks or plastic knives is back here in that little bitty cart. That's the only thing we really keep back there is plastic spoons, plastic knives, and plastic forks. Now if you'll squeeze over here with me. The racks against the other wall, these are the V racks, as in victory. We go from V1, V2, all the way to V8. Okay. Mostly these V racks are folders and binders. In fact, all the binders are back on V7 and V8. All right, follow me around. There's one more location you have to know about. Back here, which I know is very hard to see, this is the second door. We have a few items back here. It's just called door, D-O-O location. D-O-O-R location, door. All right, and now we're back up to the original door that we started at. The only other item you may need to know is way up high, if you can see that far up, is the loft. There's an extra second floor up there, and we'll keep spare items up there, extra items up there. Then every now and then you may have to go up there. That's all of the locations. Now, I told you before, the 4 trucks go out in the morning. All right. That's where the locations are. You've seen the pick order sheets. What we need to now discuss now is how do you pick an order. What we normally do is take our pick order sheets. We have 2 people that do it usually. If you do it by yourself, you can also do it by yourself, but you have to sign it up. Look at your first location. If it is a location that you're pulling, go get the item out of the location, bring it to the table. This is where we package it up. We do all of the items, get the entire order filled out, put it on the table, and then we're ready to package the item. When you're packaging an item, we only have 2 cartons that we actually stock here. It's an 8-inch carton. These are put together. That's a 14-inch carton. And an 8-inch carton. Those are the only 2 that we actually stock. We also have envelopes that we can pack in. 3 different size envelopes we can pack for the smaller items. It is possible to go throughout the warehouse and grab cartons. You can actually take stock out as long as the stock is identifiable. Put the stock down, grab the carton, and you can use those to pack on. Just make sure there's no labels from another customer on that old box. We have to take off the label if it's an old label. When we pack all the items, and we check them off our sheet with maybe a red pen. We actually put dots where the items are to do it. Once we've finished pulling the entire order, we put our initial at the bottom. Whoever pulls the order, the guy actually going to the racks. If you have a separate person packaging the product, once it's on the table, what he will do is go through, check the item to make sure that the items are correct on the order, that the person picking it off the shelves hasn't made a mistake. He will also put dots on the other side to show that he's checked it. It's a double check system. And then, once he's packaged it, whether he's packaged it in 1 box, 2 boxes, 3 boxes, or 4 boxes, he'll put his initial at the top in a different color pen and put the number of boxes, 1, 2, 3, or 4, and circle it. The reason we do this, you're going to find out in a second, is because we actually have to label the box. The last thing he does, 2 last things he does, is once he has the box packed and taped, he has to write the item number, which is up on the upper right-hand corner of his pick order ticket. It's usually a 6-digit number, always a 6-digit number, on the box. After he writes a 6-digit number, the only other thing he has to know is which truck location it's going to. We have trucks 1, 2, 3, and 4. If you turn this way again towards the racks. I told you before we have 4 sections of racks, A, B, C, D, E, F, and G, H. Well, after we package up the item, we have to put that box in the correct truck location. The truck locations are in the front of the racks, as you see here. This is truck 1, the A, B rack. Truck 2 is the C, D. Truck 3 is the E, F. And truck 4 is the G, H. It's that simple. You put it in front. This is where the drivers will pick it up the next morning, pick up their freight. All right. Once you have it,
This is where?
this is where we put the items for the trucks, so that in the morning the truckers can load it into their trucks. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And that number is located in the middle top of your pick order. It'll say route number 4, route number 3, route number 2. All right, now we've got the item or items packaged. They're in the box. What else do we have to do? If it is a toner, a large toner, and by the way, all the large toners are usually in F, G, and H. If it is a large toner, it's delicate. We have fragile stickers that we have to put on the item itself if it's shipping by itself, or in a box that it's in. Put it on the outside of the box to tell the loaders to be careful when they're putting it into the truck. Once we have the item packaged, the number is on the box, and we actually put it in the truck order, written big, so that the guy who's going to be putting the labels on it can see it. Don't stack them on top of each other. You actually have to be able to see the number. The order is picked already. Then we'll go into, which I'm not going to go into now, we go into the front office, get the computer, print the labels, put it on a manifest so the driver has something in the morning, print the labels, and then come back out and put the label on the boxes, as you see here. Most of the time we put the labels over the number we have written. That actually tells the driver that this is the correct label on the correct box and he knows everything's okay. If he sees a number without a label close to it, then he knows something's wrong. These items, by the way, if you notice that we have a lot of boxes here that are not labeled. We do use the front of these 4 racks for storage. These are actual storage items. Remember I told you G end is the outside of the rack. Well, that's what this is. This is product from GN. Excuse me, GN, CN. FN. And then we put our finished product in the front. When the drivers load in the morning, they actually will take just their stuff, the labeled items. They will not touch this.